In the fog is SpaceX's Starship test vehicle number 11. It was just over 3 weeks ago we launched number 10 from the adjacent pad at the Starbase facility in Cameron County, Texas. For today's test, we are counting down to launch of Starship number 11 to a 10-kilometer altitude in just under 4 minutes from now. Now, as with our last test, today's flight is to gather data on using flaps to control Starship as it descends back to the landing pad before lighting its Raptor engines for touchdown. Now, we're going to do our best to find a camera view for the webcast, but as you can see, fog is everywhere at Starbase in Texas.
T-minus 2 minutes.
T-minus 2 minutes and counting. We have completed propellant loading, both the methane fuel and the liquid oxygen on board Starship test vehicle number 11.
T-minus 1 minute.
With T-minus 42 seconds, we're counting down. We are retracting the quick disconnect from the vehicle in preparation for launch in just over 30 seconds from now.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Good preval cycles.
10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
T plus 33 seconds. Starship test vehicle number 11 ascending over Starbase in South Texas.
1 kilometer altitude.
We've heard the call out. We're over 1 kilometer up. Views from the external camera on Starship number 11, looking back towards the Starbase facility in the fog in South Texas.
Four kilometers altitude.
T plus 2 minutes, we're getting ready to shut down the first of the 3 Raptor engines. T plus 2 minutes, 21 seconds. You can see we have shut down the first of the 3 engines on time as planned. T plus 3 minutes, continuing to climb on power of 2 engines. We're past 8 kilometers. T plus 3.5 minutes. You can see with the camera view we have shut down the second of the 3 engines as planned. We're now slowly climbing to the final 10-kilometer altitude on the power of the single Raptor engine. Once we're at apogee, we'll hover shortly, shut down the engine as we flip over, and then descend back towards the landing pad at Starbase.
10 kilometers altitude.
Coming up at T plus 4 minutes, we're at 10 kilometers altitude, and we are getting dropouts on the camera, but we continue to get telemetry from the Starbase, from the Starship vehicle. While we're waiting to reestablish video connection with the vehicle, we have shut down the third of the 3 Raptor engines as planned. We're now beginning the horizontal maneuver back down to the landing pad at the Starbase facilities. As we get close to land, we will ignite the 3 Raptor engines, flip to vertical, and then land on the thrust of a single Raptor engine. T plus 4 minutes, 40 seconds and counting, and it looks like we've got some camera views back again.
Six kilometers altitude.
T plus 5 minutes, we're passing through 5 kilometers. A nice view from the exterior camera showing one of the flaps on the
Downrange
Starship
cross-range
test
control
vehicle
air
number
look here.
11.
Two kilometers altitude. One kilometer altitude.
T plus 545, we've just passed through 1 kilometer altitude, getting ready for the relight. We're back with you. As you can see from the frozen camera view, we lost the clock at T plus 5 minutes 49 seconds. Looks like we've had another exciting test of Starship number 11. A reminder again, this is a test series to gather data on entry of the Starship vehicle at subsonic speeds as it comes back to the landing zone. It does appear, though, that another exciting test, as we say. We don't have any good camera views to share with you right now, so with that, we are going to bring the webcast to a close. A quick recap, we had the nominal ascent, we maneuvered to horizontal when we got to 10 kilometers. The entry, we had some nice views from the exterior camera showing the flaps were quiet as we descended, but then we had the camera freeze up as we got into the engine ignition sequence, and so we're going to have to find out from the team what happened. But with that, we'd like to thank the team and bring the webcast to a close, and we'll be back with you with Starship, the next Starship test in the near future. And for those who just joined us, the frozen view we saw on the camera doesn't mean that we were waiting for the signal to come back. Starship 11 is not coming back. Don't wait for the landing. We do appear to have lost all the data from the vehicle, and the team, of course, is away from the landing pad. So we'll be out there seeing what we had. Please follow us on social media for updates. But with that, we are going to bring the webcast to a close. Interesting flight, and as always with Starship, an exciting time on our webcast. Thank you for tuning in today.
Our camera there at the launch pad getting hit with some debris.
I'm getting the footage right now. The camera was taking hits. No, the camera.
Chris, no, exactly, yeah.
And there's shrapnel pieces flying in front of the camera.
Yes.
Pieces of stainless steel going by. There was huge plumes of dirt that were getting picked up. and I am not sure that the solar array in front of our panel is alive.
Yeah.
There was there's 200 watts of solar pointed at south, and we're north of the pad here. And I am betting you dollars to donuts that those solar panels definitely took a hit. Not that they're doing
yeah.
much right now. But
Thank you all for the super chats because
Yeah.
I might have some new
Thanks for
solar
the-
panels to buy.
Yeah, I heard a thump that sounded like when you actually tap a microphone.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was when it got hit, but that when I heard it, that's what it sounded like to me.
no, there was
SN11's like
there was dirt. It looks like stuff was hitting the
Yeah.
dirt around the camera, and there were plumes of dirt spew. It looked like bullets hitting around it and hitting coming into the camera lens.
That
Okay.
audio was incredible, Doss.
that
Yes.
really was.
The crash audio. Oh my
It
god.
was just non-stop, like, explosions and whatnot. I mean, not like a big explosion, but it sounded like lots and lots of continuous small explosions.
Yeah. We recorded that separately as well, so we'll have that clean audio recorded on. Yeah, this server right here was recording that.
We're just going to have to publish a video with just this camera and the raw audio as our flight
Yeah.
test video.
Yeah.
Instead of the normal 10 different camera angles, amazing tracking footage.
Okay, that's good to go. All right.
Wow.
Good times.
Well, I mean, exciting is the correct
Yes.
word.
oh my
I think this has been a learning experience for all of us. We know that they will launch with zero visibility.
Yeah. So let's. I think what I actually want to talk about now is let's talk about this, because we do talk a lot about it's a test campaign, but I think it's also fair in terms of all the other systems that we talk about as well to say they're going to need to see what happened on this one, but to me this is a more concerning failure than the other ones. We do talk a lot about early on, like, you can have flights that you get lucky, right? And there might be something that's a 1 in 10 failure that you just don't know about until you start flying. Entirely possible. And I don't want to speculate as to what went wrong, but they seem to have been making some slight progress right along the way. Like, oh, we had a pressurization issue, so we went to fix that, and then we had a Raptor issue, so we went to fix that, and then helium got ingested, so we're looking at that. I don't know, but based on where this failed, though, this would be slightly more. This to me strikes me as slightly more of a big deal in terms of how they're going to test going forward. And of course, without knowing what changes are coming to SN15, etc., we can't speculate. But eventually we need to see these things land successfully. And I know it's only the fourth one, and this is very different from how we've been doing. But I think this might. They're going to go look at the data, but this is one that makes me wonder if a larger change isn't coming, because something clearly isn't working here with the flip and burn.
The one thing
Yeah.
I will say, Chris, is that SN15 has a lot of upgrades related to
Right.
propulsion. So, from
Right.
what I've heard is that SN15 has a lot of fixes already from the lessons learned.
Right.
So hopefully SN15 will be more reliable. And also, one thing I will say, do not go anywhere yet, because
Yes.
this fog is going to clear. We are not
It is gonna
allowed
clear.
to move. We are not allowed to move this camera around, or else, of course, we will be checking out where the debris is. But we're obviously going to respect the rules of this camera. But our other cameras, which are not on SpaceX property, we will, as soon as the fog clears, we will look around and see if we can tell where SN11 came down.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And I'm being quiet as we pull some of the footage here.
Gotcha. Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Could anybody give me a time that happened? Like, what time exactly did that occur?
Roughly 5 49, I think it was.
I think that's right. I think it was 5:49.
Was when it froze. Yeah.
Sorry, the local time that it hit, that it exploded.
So you're looking
It
about 10
it should have been.
ago.
Yeah, 10-ish minutes ago, 9:05, 9:06, or sorry, 8:05, 8:06 local.
805, 806 local. Thank you.
I get what you're doing now and why you're
Yeah,
asking
no,
the
I'm
question
trying
that
to
way.
find.
Yeah,
Sorry.
So many things going on at once.
Wow! Oh my.
Oh, no. Oh, I can't wait.
What, DOS?
The camera definitely took a hit. Like something physically impacted the tripod or camera. Like the entire camera got dunked, basically.
Oh, man.
We're working on it. We're going to get this here.
In the fog is SpaceX's Starship test vehicle number 11. It was just over 3 weeks ago we launched number 10 from the adjacent pad at the Starbase facility in Cameron County, Texas. For today's test, we are counting down to launch of Starship number 11 to a 10-kilometer altitude in just under 4 minutes from now. Now, as with our last test, today's flight is to gather data on using flaps to control Starship as it descends back to the landing pad before lighting its Raptor engines for touchdown. Now, we're going to do our best to find a camera view for the webcast, but as you can see, fog is everywhere at Starbase in Texas.
T-minus 2 minutes.
T-minus 2 minutes and counting. We have completed propellant loading, both the methane fuel and the liquid oxygen on board Starship test vehicle number 11.
T-minus 1 minute.
With T-minus 42 seconds, we're counting down. We are retracting the quick disconnect from the vehicle in preparation for launch in just over 30 seconds from now.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Good prevo cycles.
Ten, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
T plus 33 seconds. Starship test vehicle number 11 ascending over Starbase in South Texas.
1 kilometer altitude.
We've heard the call out. We're over 1 kilometer up. Views from the external camera on Starship number 11 looking back towards the Starbase facility in the fog in South Texas.
Four kilometers altitude.
T plus 2 minutes. We're getting ready to shut down the first of the 3 Raptor engines. T plus 2 minutes, 21 seconds. You can see we have shut down the first of the 3 engines on time as planned. T plus 3 minutes, continuing to climb on power of 2 engines. We're past 8 kilometers. T plus 3.5 minutes. You can see with the camera view we have shut down the second of the 3 engines as planned. We're now slowly climbing to the final 10-kilometer altitude on the power of the single Raptor engine. Once we're at apogee, we'll hover shortly, shut down the engine as we flip over, and then descend back towards the landing pad at Starbase.
10 kilometers altitude.
Coming up at T plus 4 minutes, we're at 10 kilometers altitude, and we are getting dropouts on the camera, but we continue to get telemetry from the Starbase, from the Starship vehicle. While we're waiting to reestablish video connection with the vehicle, we have shut down the third of the 3 Raptor engines as planned. We're now beginning the horizontal maneuver back down to the landing pad at the Starbase facilities. As we get close to land, we will ignite the 3 Raptor engines, flip to vertical, and then land on the thrust of a single Raptor engine. T plus 4 minutes, 40 seconds and counting, and it looks like we've got some camera views back again.
Six kilometers altitude.
T plus 5 minutes, we're passing through 5 kilometers, a nice view from the exterior camera, showing one of the flaps on the
Downrange,
Starship
cross-range
test
control
vehicle number
airport,
11.
Two kilometers altitude. One kilometer altitude.
T plus 545, we've just passed through 1 kilometer altitude, getting ready for the relight.
This Toronto Velvet, the new Dolce Vita.
Now, should be 5x5 again. I am getting it live, and it looks good. Chat's just a little bit slower than everybody else. Yep. Chat, you're too slow. You can hear us just fine. Some of you have bad internet connections, it seems. We should be back. We had a little bit of an anomaly there as we tried to load up the replay footage, but we should be good to go. Sorry about the little brief hiccup there, but that's why we have a backup server. So we should be back live. You should have the view from across the pad there, which is still alive, and we're ready to roll a replay of the impact now. Everybody else on the call good here?
Yes. I got you.
All right. Okay, so now that we're back nominal here, folks, we're seeing the tank farm and our favorite palm tree and our 3 yucca plants there. I hope those are yuccas. I think they're yuccas. But if you're just joining us, wondering what's going on, SN11 did take off, but it had a hard impact. It did not come down in one piece. We did not have any visibility of it. SpaceX lost their cameras. The vehicle cameras showed nothing. All the SpaceX remote cameras didn't have any visibility. But here is what we got. And Michael, let's get ready to go replay mode if we could. We're going to pull this up. Slightly confusing scene here, but we definitely want the whole thing in frame. All right, I'm actually going to go to the beach cam really quick, I think, just so we have a different background for
To
our
show
replay.
everything.
Yeah, just because it'll be double palm trees, right? All right, so here we go. This is the footage from the NASA space flight Danger Close camera. This was right there across the street from the test site, right? Placed there with permission from SpaceX, but this is the view that camera caught, not of the launch, but this is about 20 seconds before whatever happened, right? Let's get that playing. Palm tree is smooth. That's what we like to see. So you'll know when it happens, and then watch, because it takes time for the shrapnel to arrive. But again, this is a replay. This is a replay of the anomaly of SN11. Got some orange. Something happened. Hard to tell exactly where that came from. Here comes
there
the debris.
comes. Oh, there's. Whoa!
That's where the solar panels were.
Were being the key
Whoa.
phrase.
Yeah.
Look at that.
There we
oh
took
my
a hit.
God. Oh, that was the hit. Yeah, because it reoriented
There's still pieces
itself.
coming
Yep.
down.
Yep, that was the hit. Wow.
And you got smoking shrapnel on the ground that was not there before. But that is what our close-in camera caught. I'm going to do it one more time here. That plume of dirt, though.
The
There we go.
plume of dirt, please. The plume
Yeah.
of dirt.
Yeah. And is there a tweet from Elon? Could somebody be checking that if there's a tweet from Elon?
Looking.
Yeah.
I'd be
he says-
surprised so far.
Elon
Yeah.
says high production rate solves many ills.
Oh,
he
there was.
says, at least the crater is in the right place. So it must have landed on landing zone. Well, landed as in crashed on landing zone.
At least
Yeah.
the crater's in the right place. Nice. This
Because
is like,
what that means is if crater's in the right place, that to me would indicate it's Elon's way of saying nothing critical got hit at the
Yeah.
site, which is very important because, man, you hit something critical on the way down, and that could be months to repair it. Whereas if it hit the landing pad, all right, pour some more concrete.
there is a pretty sizable chunk of stainless steel that is between the fence and the tank farm here. You can see it cartwheel through
Yeah.
the end. I'm just going to keep this on replay here. But that's the flash. I'm not going to say, oh, that flash looked like it was in the air or not. There's the first
No.
piece fell right there. There's a big piece. That big plume of dirt. And then watch, there's a big piece of stainless steel cartwheeling. Gah!
Oh
Yeah, we
God!
took
And
the
then
hit.
there's the kit. Like,
There's another piece. But watch here. Watch the right of the. There it goes. Behind that cat generator.
yeah.
Stainless steel falling out of the sky.
So I guess
Kid.
it is worth mentioning. Crater in the right place doesn't necessarily mean nothing there was damaged. Just that crater in the right place means if it was going to fail, at least it came down in the best possible spot.
Yeah, it didn't
for the big
impale
impact.
itself on
Right.
the orbital launch platform or anything like that.
Right, and again, this is based off Elon's tweet saying at least the crater's in the right spot.
Wow.
Well, we couldn't see the launch from this camera, but it definitely provided an interesting view.
So there's a little bit of a flash when the launch occurs. Like it gets orange.
Right,
And then,
right.
we were trying to figure out, did it launch? Did it not launch? Was that just like the engines ignited that it didn't actually go anywhere? They shut down.
Yeah,
And then Chris,
yeah.
you were listening into the webcast and you confirmed that it launched. That's how we knew, right?
Yes. I mean, their webcast didn't even show it lifting off. The
Yeah.
indication that it had lifted off was when the countdown went positive and didn't stop. I mean, that was literally it. Like, yeah, because the cameras that I was watching on the feed, like SpaceX's cameras on the ground, didn't even have a visual of it.
Oh, yeah.
It was once it cleared the fog deck, we got the internal engine camera, like finally was clear enough to show us the engines. I mean, SpaceX didn't even go to that shot until after it was above the cloud deck.
Chris, the yucca took a hit.
Oh,
Oh,
not the
where?
yucca.
Look, there's a yucca standing
Oh,
in
there's
in the
one
middle,
gone.
right
yeah.
here.
There's-
Right here. Look, it takes a hit from a piece of shrapnel, and it cuts the top off that yucca. Watch this. I really hope those are yuccas. Wham!
Oh, yeah. Dang. Whew.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, this is literally like what you're looking at. Like, there's a reason we sign agreements.
Yeah,
there
is.
There's
That's
a reason.
true.
There's a reason we understand this is a risk.
Yeah.
And things like that. Because I mean, look at where this came down and what the camera was able to capture. Like this camera easily could have been. I mean, an inch more. The one that actually hit the camera, like an inch, half a meter, a centimeter more one direction, that could have been a camera-ending hit to us.
I mean, it could.
It is literally luck of the draw sometimes where these things are placed, where
Yeah.
one right next to you can be destroyed and yours is somehow fine. I mean,
Yep.
it can literally be luck of the draw when things like this happen. Yeah.
I'm trying. So this camera doesn't have the sound embedded in this video, y'all. Let me see if there's some way that I can pull. I don't have a way to play the stereo audio. Let's put it that way. If I pipe it in over my headset, it's not going to come through stereo for y'all because my communications channel is a mono channel. So let me work on a way to get y'all that stereo audio, and maybe if I get that audio to Brady, it could be cut together with this video here. That might be a thing, but I'm going to work on that. What do y'all want me to do in the meantime while I go take some time? Do you want me to leave it just on the pad cam? Keep replaying this? What do y'all want?
The fog is getting worse, unfortunately. I'm hoping it's going to clear soon so that we can get a... Ideally, our camera at the beach has the best shot of the landing zone. That is totally fogged out right now. And it looks like from the village cameras, the fog is getting worse. So I don't know. Maybe just go back to the camera by the pad, the danger cam, and we can at least look at a live picture that has something in the foreground. We'll put it that way.
This is from the beach, and it is still completely fogged out there. So we'll leave it on a danger cam here, like this. And I am going to pull that audio and get it to see if we can't cut that together into. I just want to be able to play the stereo. I didn't even think about that. I was recording it, but I didn't even think about the workflow for pulling the audio off that recording server and then getting it up. I'm going to handle that right now, though. Y'all take it away and replay image, Michael.
Oh, yeah.
The replay tag, yeah.
Well, so on to SN15 is a long story short. There might be...
Or BN1.
There might be BN1 testing in the meantime, but I'm not entirely sure if BN1 is actually going to be tested or not. That information seems to be changing by today, and right now it's a bit uncertain. So I'm not sure which Starship will be next or which Super Heavy will be next on the test stand, but we do know that SN15, the next Starship, is the one that is expected to also do a test flight, but with many upgrades to improve the reliability. If you're wondering why it goes from SN11 to SN15, SN12, 13, and 14 were all very similar models of Starship to SN11. And with SN15 coming along, which was a more advanced, kind of a major block upgrade, SpaceX has decided to skip right to 15. So Starship SN15 will be the next Starship vehicle to be tested, but there could also be that Super Heavy prototype coming down the pipeline as well.
Hey guys, Thomas here. I'm back, and I've got an update to bring. I think.
Oh, what do you got?
Elon has given some more details here. This is from Elon Musk on Twitter. Looks like Engine 2 had issues on ascent and didn't reach operating chamber pressure during the landing burn, but in theory it wasn't needed. Something significant happened shortly after landing burn start. Should know what it was once we can examine the bits later today.
Examine the bits, nice.
So an issue on an engine during ascent, but that shouldn't have affected the landing, and then something happens shortly after landing burn start.
And that shows you there is some redundancy of the vehicle there. Elon said that Engine 2 had issues on ascent. Did you notice that? No, because Starship kept on just fine by throttling the other Raptors, presumably to compensate. And then he also said that the chamber pressure issue on Engine 2 was not something that would have prohibited a landing because of the redundancy with the multiple engines. Of course, then Elon also added that something significant happened.
So it sounds like two different issues, or that Engine 2 issue got worse during the landing burn and actually caused like a vehicle destruction or something. I don't know, but yeah, so it sounds like they'll hopefully know more later today.
Eric, if only it was clear. We need some shakes fist at
certainly have been.
memes.
Yeah, certainly would have been nice to get a good visual of it, but The telemetry should hopefully give a full picture to SpaceX at least, and hopefully we'll get some of those details shared.
Welp.
Well,
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
And we didn't say this might happen, that there would be setbacks during the development process. It's not going to be linear where every single test improves on where the previous, I shouldn't say linear, it's not going to always be upward sloping is what I should say.
right, yeah.
Where every future test improves on the one before it, there will be times where there are setbacks, and you take 2 steps forward and then you take a step back on the next test or something like that. So I would consider that this test was definitely a step back. I don't think there's much question about it. But that being said, I have no doubt that SpaceX will be able to recover from this position and obviously make the future Starships successful. So I'm not at all worried about the Starship program in itself, but today's test flight was obviously it did not go as well as they would have hoped for it to go given the previous test flights.
Right, and but the other item to keep in mind is that starting with Starship SN15, we know there are some upgrades coming with that version, and going forward. So SpaceX already had increased confidence in those starships, and so it's possible that today's anomaly was related to persisting issues that have already been fixed, but just not fixed on this particular vehicle. So that's another thing to keep in mind, is that they were testing an already slightly outdated design. So hopefully the data from today is useful, but we'll have higher hopes for future vehicles to be a more refined design and be more reliable and start hitting some more milestones.
I will say though that we had, despite the fog, I think our coverage was about as good as we could have done. So I'm proud of the team for the good work.
oh my God, with the weather conditions, I don't know how it could have been any better.
I mean, we got the great audio. Pad cam somehow survived. We got great video from this cam, or danger cam, whatever you want to call it. I have like 5 words for it, but
danger cam. I like that.
I like enhanced cam, but anyways, I think our video was about as good as we could have done given the circumstances.
Well, and I just have to say, major props to Jack and Mary for setting it at what apparently was the exact correct point to get love tapped by debris, but not like taken out.
Love tapped by debris.
A little kiss from the debris, if you will. Yeah.
And I will say, great job to DOS as well, because we did not know if we were going to have this camera position available to us, but DOS worked very hard and many long hours to rush this camera and get it to Boca Chica in time. And if we did not have this camera today, we would have been in big trouble.
Yeah.
It's still labeled in all my interfaces where I control the robots and stuff. It's still labeled Rush Cam. I put this one together from parts that we had on hand because we always have a backlog, right? But we sort of schedule when we're going to build the next camera based on other live streams and where are we going to put it and all this sort of stuff, right? And we had the parts on hand, and I put it together in 24 hours from the parts that we had and got it in the mail and to Boca Chica. So from the time that we decided to the time that it was in the mail to Boca was like a day and a half or something like that. But we got it done. So I am very happy with its performance. Good job, enhanced danger cam. Can we settle on that maybe, Michael? Like compromise?
Enhanced danger cam.
Enhanced danger cam.
But we're still waiting for the fog to clear. I'm hoping it's going to happen, but not any. It's getting worse at the moment, but sometimes I guess the fog gets better before it gets worse. I will also say thank you to chat for being understanding with the fog. People actually were surprisingly understanding and not like moaning and complaining about the fog. Because obviously, if we could clear the fog, you can 100% guarantee that we would. But unfortunately, we cannot control the weather. So it was what it was.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Good preval cycles.
10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
T plus 33 seconds. Starship test vehicle number 11 ascending over Starbase in South Texas.
1 kilometer altitude.
We've heard the call out. We're over 1 kilometer up. Views from the external camera on Starship number 11 looking back towards the Starbase facility in the fog in South Texas.
Four kilometers altitude.
T plus 2 minutes. We're getting ready to shut down the first of the 3 Raptor engines. T plus 2 minutes, 21 seconds. You can see we have shut down the first of the 3 engines on time as planned. T plus 3 minutes, continuing to climb on power of 2 engines. We're past 8 kilometers. T plus 3.5 minutes. You can see with the camera view we have shut down the second of the 3 engines as planned. We're now slowly climbing to the final 10-kilometer altitude on the power of the single Raptor engine. Once we're at apogee, we'll hover shortly, shut down the engine as we flip over, and then descend back towards the landing pad at Starbase.
10 kilometers altitude.
Coming up at T plus 4 minutes, we're at 10 kilometers altitude, and we are getting dropouts on the camera, but we continue to get telemetry from the Starbase, from the Starship vehicle. While we're waiting to reestablish video connection with the vehicle, we have shut down the third of the 3 Raptor engines as planned. We're now beginning the horizontal maneuver back down to the landing pad at the Starbase facilities. As we get close to land, we will ignite the 3 Raptor engines, flip to vertical, and then land on the thrust of a single Raptor engine. T plus 4 minutes 40 seconds and counting, and it looks like we've got some camera views back again.
Six kilometers altitude.
T plus 5 minutes, we're passing through 5 kilometers, a nice view from the exterior camera, showing one of the flaps on the
Downrange
Starship
cross-range
test
control
vehicle
air
number
support gear.
11.
Two kilometers altitude. One kilometer altitude.
T plus 545, we've just passed through 1 kilometer altitude, getting ready for the relight.